of a great nation. The unraveling of a great nation. When you unravel something, you undo twisted, knitted, or woven threads. You investigate and solve or explain something complicated or puzzling. The condition of America is puzzling. The world is looking at a country going to hell. The world is looking at a president who wants to be king. When the Constitution and the founding fathers were trying to run away from what they suffered in Europe under the kings. So there's a verse in the Quran that I was thinking of. It's in the 16th surah, the 92nd verse, and it said, "Be not like her who unravels her yarn, disintegrating it into pieces after she has spun it strongly." Her here is not talking about a woman as such, but if you see somebody knitting something with a design and they leave it not secured one stitch, and then the same woman who stitched it strongly starts pulling
I'm home, but I have things to do. And I'm not taking a walk out and catch my water. What is yours? Okay. So you're home? What are you doing now? Is that, ooh, are you in the car? Hello? Oh. And I said, what are you in the car? I said, are you in a car? Hold on. Alright, well, but you said you're home? Alright, well, I'll come earlier, I'll let you know. Alright. What's the number? When you do, let me know. Alright.
Pulling on the yarn that she has knitted, not built on a firm foundation. Although the weaving was done strongly, the nation called America was doomed from its inception. How do you build a nation? Killing the native people. How do you build a nation? Bringing the whole people out of Africa to America to be made slaves. This is your foundation. So for them to lie to you and make you think that America is a land of promise for you, and you believe it. No wonder Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth set you. You've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. As Brother Malcolm said, you've been took, you've been had. Are you quoting Brother Malcolm Farrakhan?
Yeah.
Why not? He was my first great teacher. He taught me much. And one of the lessons that he taught me was how to love the leader, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when he found fault with his teacher, I could no longer accept his tutelage. We all were in the same class. He was a great student in the class. I was just coming in the class. He shook the world. Being with Elijah Muhammad for 12 years. Well, some of you have been in high school and you graduated from the 12th grade. How wonderful. But you ain't shook nothing. Malcolm was with Elijah Muhammad for 12 years and shook the world. My question to you is, what did he learn? After 12 years of studying under a man who finished the 3rd grade and was entering the 4th when his education stopped. How could Elijah Muhammad make a man to shake the world. All you Negroes that have matriculated from some of the finer institutions of America and can't shake the neighborhood that you live in.
Come on, you've tried.
Brother Malcolm, after 12 years, shook the world. Only went to the 8th grade of school. What is it about this man Elijah? Oh, I'd love to talk about that man. What is it about him that his students in every city where there was a temple rose to the top of leadership in that city? Malcolm's journey with Elijah Muhammad was aborted. You know when you're pregnant and there's an abortion, the growth and development stops at the time of the that which was evolving now stops evolving.
As soon as I stopped looking, that was funny as hell.
Muhammad Ali, he shook the world. Student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You got a problem with that? I watched my brother defeat intelligent people that thought he was a dummy. And when they used the word that he didn't understand, he stopped. What that mean? And when he explained it, Muhammad said, yeah, I'm that. I am that. He shocked the world. As a student of Elijah Muhammad for 12 years or so, well, he tried to abort me from my class with my teacher. And before he left us, listen to how he described Farrakhan. He said, this is a man that this world can't buy. You just think about it. This is a man, talking about me, that this world cannot bother. Now you know they hate me. Here I stand. My brow is not furrowed. In fact, all the hell that they and their minions and the hypocrites give me, I sleep well. Baby. So from being in the class This Savior's Day, I joined the class 65 years ago. And if you get acquainted with me, you'll see that Elijah Muhammad made me a master. A master. The enemy is upset with the fact that the Nation of Islam is here, and we continue to make progress in spite of the opposition. So we are living in the time of the unraveling of this great nation. Now, this subject matter has a double meaning. Because we're a great nation too. When I was in Iran, I asked the question, based on the Quranic verse, Allah says, "You are the best nation raised among men. You enjoin good and you forbid evil." That's the description of the best nation. I was in Iran. I said, "Are you that nation?" Saudi Arabia, are you that nation? What nation do you know that forbids evil and indecency and enjoins good and has not won through violence and the murder of anyone? What nation? You're looking at. This is the best nation. So while I'm talking about how America is unraveling, I want you to focus on our nation. Because the enemy wants to unravel what you see here today, that it won't be here. Yeah. I tell you, government of America, you can do all you want to do. Bring your guns. We don't have none. I'm anxious to show you the two that back me.
Ah, come on.
I want to show you a real Savior. Come on, America. We can't stop you. You don't like us. We don't have nothing to fight you with but our hands and our feet. Oh, we could go to the little gun shop. got to go to you because you're the gun maker. The hell do we look like resting on your stupid weapon system? I got a weapon with me, and it ain't no pop gun. I'm not bragging or boasting. We accepted this to die on it and die for it because we are fighting for Islam. And we will surely win. With our Savior, Allah, the universal King. We hold these truths, the founders' right, to be self-evident. That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and security. Do you have life, liberty? What is the pursuit of happiness? You mean you don't have? No, you don't. And if you think having a nice car and a few dollars in the bank is the pursuit of happiness, you're sick. Having the pursuit of happiness is engaging in the business of life itself. Having the pursuit of happiness means that you create the means of sufficiency. Having the pursuit of happiness, meaning that whatever you want to do in life of good, the avenue is open for you in this nation that you can pursue your desires. How many of you have fulfilled your desires? Desires that will make you happy. Happy because you're productive. Happy because you can look and see what the brilliance of your mind and the work of your hands and the unity of your pocketbook with others has caused you to build. Like a man that built a skyscraper and he walks downtown and he pats his belly and he looks up and says, look what I have done. He had the pursuit of happiness to fulfill his desires. A few of us have done good, but don't get it twisted. A few of us doing good has not benefited the masses of our people. So if what we have done has not helped the masses to move in a proper direction, what you've done is for you. What you've done may be for your family, but your family is a family among tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of families that are not doing well. to America, you started off with nice words. I mean, America can't beat the words of the Constitution and the preamble to it. Oh man, that's good stuff. But there's a problem. See, when you have good words, you got to have a good heart to give life to good words. Otherwise, it's what the president calls BS. And so many of us are full of BS that we can always force our mouth to say big things, but we can't force our hands to do good works. So the pursuit of happiness is the blessing of freedom, justice, and equality. Do we have freedom of food, complete freedom? Do we have equal justice under the law? Do we have equality of opportunity? So the unraveling started from a lie. Because when it said we the people, no women were involved in that. Uh-oh. Now I want you to talk to me. When the Federalist Papers were argued, there was no woman in the room. We the people. But you ain't people if you're a woman. Over 100 years, a woman had to wait to vote. I'm talking about white women. So if we, the people, didn't really include white women, and you know it never included black men and women, brown men and women. So you've been here, bless your hearts, trying to fit in. Well, let's look at what America's promise has been to us. You already know, I don't need to rehearse that, but I want to show you the great seal of America. I asked my team to don't fall asleep back there. I want you to show the original seal of this nation. It had on its face, oh thank you, seal of the United States of America. Look at it. It was a coat of arms of 6 white European nations that made up this new nation. England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Germany, and Holland. It has the initials of the 13 colonies, and it depicts a woman holding the scales of justice. And the U.S. motto in Latin, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. You learned that in your civics class. But even though the country was populated by the native people, black slaves, the official seal of the country was never designed to reflect our presence. Only that of European immigrants. But look at the back of the seal. Show the back of that first original seal. There it is. The design reveals the spiritual blindness inherent in the origin of the United States. The founding fathers upheld obedience to God as their symbol while practicing genocide, colonialism, and slavery. We are tied up in every part of the history of this nation. We are in it. Our presence is a part of it. And it kept them arguing with each other over the big question that remains today. What to do with the black, the brown, the non-white. It was Thomas Jefferson who helped design the seal. And while he was designing it, I want you to look at what he said. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just. So let's go back to that seal, brother. They got a strange thing in the air. With a light and fire in it, and the light is shining down on Moses. You see Moses with his hand stretched out. Pharaoh in a chariot with a sword in his hand. Because after Pharaoh decided to let the children go, he changed his mind. And he picked up a sword and was coming to kill all of them. And so this picture of what was above their heads that I will explain to you today, inshallah. They knew judgment was coming to America. I want you to hear me. The founding fathers knew that one day they would have to pay for what they did to the Native Americans, to the slaves, to all of the people that they have made poor and destitute, robbing them of their resources. Oh yeah. God has never favored the undertakings of slavery, genocide, and colonialism. And look at the words of Jesus. One comes at the end, and he uses the pronoun I. He said we. He said, I will set up a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things will pass away. All of this is to go. At the end of the time of the rule of the Caucasians, God comes to set up a new government, a new people. Behold, I make all things. There'll be a new heaven, a new earth. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the new heaven means a new spiritual power. And the new earth is a new political power. Because if heaven and earth don't work together, the earth suffers. If the rain stops, if the clouds don't come over the earth dies. When you got government and all you can do as a member of Congress is say a weak prayer to open the Senate and the House of Representatives, but there's no real connection to God. Yet you say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And you go on to say, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My mother said to me when I was going to school as a youngster, she said with her beautiful West Indian accent, she said, Jane, I don't want you to say these words like they did it to you now. I want you to say, with liberty and justice for white people. So I never said the Pledge of Allegiance the way it's written. When I got to that part, I said liberty and justice for white. But is that right? Then tell me, why do you want to get into something you're fighting to vote? You are so upset over Mr. You are so desperate to have that man out of the White House. You don't care who wins as long as Trump loses. So they put another billionaire in the fight. They don't give a skip about black people. He got a lot of money, and he's paying off preachers. Now, Reverend. And see, we got to stop playing the role of a whore. I mean, God loves the prostitutes, but not whores that are politicians. Prostitute out there, God wants to clean her up. He wants to clean up the politics too. But when they can corrupt you, give you a bribe, give you something to satisfy your corrupt desires, then you sell out your people. And when you sell out your people for the bribe money, now they've got you. And when they got you, they start asking you to do things that you may not want to do, but now they got you with a few dollars. They bought you. So Jesus, not the Jesus the prophet, I'm going to get into that in a minute, But Jesus the Messiah. You say, well, Jesus the prophet is not Jesus the Messiah? No. Jesus the Messiah said, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd will lay down his life for the sheep. What black people need today are good shepherds. Black people need leaders that can't be bought. Black people need leaders who are not quick to jump into bed with strange women or strange men. Black people need leaders who can be a good example of righteous moral conduct. I hear you. My sister said, you better bring it. Yeah, sister, I'm going to bring it for sure. That's my sister from Detroit, man. A fighter for real. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. But look here. Did you know that in 1877 they sold out the blacks of America? Just give me a couple of minutes with this. At the Wormley Hotel, it used to be in Washington. In 1877, during the election of Tilden and Rutherford B. Hayes in 1876, there was so much controversy because the slaves had been, quote unquote, set free. And Lincoln did this to ruin the South. But he didn't care whether we were free or slave. So don't let white folks tell you that Honest Abe yeah, he was honest. He told you to get up and get the hell out of here. Now that was real honest. He said, we suffer from your presence. And you suffer from being present with us. He told the truth. He had some Negroes in the White House. You know how they do when they want to put something over? They get some Negroes. And they get in the White House and you politicians that like to, you know what you do. And when you sit down with your cigar and smoke your little stuff, then they tell you what they want you to do. A. Philip Randolph met Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the great champion, so-called justice for black people. And A. Philip Randolph and the black leaders laid out the plight of black people. Franklin Delano Roosevelt handed out cigars. And as they were puffing and lighting it up, he said, now, Randolph, you spoke right. Now you have to go out and make me do it. In other words, I ain't going out on a limb with them cracker brothers of mine in Congress, you gotta make me do it by going out among the people and stirring the people to your cause. So my beloved brothers, they met in the World Hotel in Washington. Samuel Tilden was a Democrat, I think, and Rutherford B. Hayes was the Republican, and they made a deal over you. It mimicked the first deal that they made when they started gathering the numbers for Congress in the states. The southern states wanted to use the number of the slaves to get more representation in the Congress. So the whites in the north argued. Oh, now that ain't right. All right. I'll tell you what. We'll call the Negroes 3/5 of a human being. We'll let it go at that. Now think about it. I see school teachers in front of me. I don't know what the hell you're teaching. But if you can't teach the truth, what good is being a teacher in this crap? If you can't tell the truth, if you're a part of feeding your people the lies that America teaches to justify her evil to the native people, to people of color here and all over the world, don't let people poison you with money to make you poison your babies with lies. They sat down in Washington and the agreement was if the Republican got in the White House, the Democrats agreed that they would take the
TMZ reports that Harvey Weinstein is found guilty on 2 of the 5 felony federal charges against him and acquitted of the others. Me and the Notification Gang would like to invite everybody to come join us Monday through Thursday, 9:20 to 10 o'clock for morning coffee, where we discuss the events of the prior day and also just talk mess about stuff. See you then. BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, Harvey Weinstein has been found guilty of criminal sexual act and rape. And he was acquitted on 3 other charges. Okay, real quick, first thing we want to do is say shout out to TMZ. That's who broke the story. That's where I'm getting this story from. That's where I heard it from as far as how I first got it. Okay? Shout out to TMZ. That's first. Second is this. We're about to read this, and when we go through this, there's gonna be some arguments that could be made that were the same arguments that people had for Bill Cosby. The same exact arguments that people had for Bill Cosby. So my point is, we're gonna assume that both of their lawyers are on the same equal tier level, right? They have the money. So I just want to point that out as we just go through exactly what he was found guilty of and, you know, what they acquitted him of, basically. I just want that to just be in the forefront of your brain. The same argument could be made for Bill Cosby. I'm not saying Bill should be off, by the way. I'm just saying acquitted. Anyway, TMZ's article goes, Harvey Weinstein is guilty of 2 of the 5 charges he faced in his New York City criminal trial. But he was found not guilty on charges that could have put him in prison for life. You get it? Now, first of all, he's already old. Let's just keep it a stack. If you give him 25 years, that's basically life. It is what it is. Anyway, it's that Harvey Weinstein guilty of the first-degree criminal sexual act and third-degree rape. He could face up to 25 years in prison just for the criminal sexual act. However, the jury found him not guilty on 2 counts of predatory sexual assault charges. Those carried a possible life sentence. Now, real quick, I want to say something, right? What were they accusing Bill Cosby of? 1, inviting women to his crib at 2 in the morning, or wherever he was at, because apparently, I'm not trying to laugh, but I'm just saying, really, a lot of these attacks have been said to be happening 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning at his house, and the reason why they know that that's when the attack happened is because that's when said victim got to his residence, right? So, that's predatory to invite somebody over under the auspice of you're going to help them with their career, and then put drugs into their drink. That's predatory, right? Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're clear on it. Anyway, a jury of 12 people, 7 men, 5 women, finally reached their verdicts after 5 days and about 22 hours of deliberation. This comes after an interesting turn on Friday, when the jury sent a note to the judge asking if they could be hung on 2 counts of predatory sexual assault and unanimous on the others. Do you understand what my argument is? I'm not saying at all that Bill Cosby should not have been found guilty. So for everybody that want to bring that argument up, yo, Jack, or so you saying you okay with? I'm not even talking about how guilty Bill is or isn't. I'm saying that the same exact defense is basically used for another individual, and they get found acquitted of said charges, while Bill Cosby was found guilty of said charges. I mean, hey, I could be wrong. Maybe I got to look at what Bill Cosby was found guilty of. But as far as I know, they said he was inviting women over. They get there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He put stuff in their drinks. They wake up the next day. Anyway, the judge told them to go back to deliberations, and they worked it out by Monday morning. As we reported, Weinstein pled not guilty to 5 felony charges related to sexual misconduct. The charges were based on the accounts of 2 women, Miriam Haley, a TV and film production assistant who worked on Project Runway, and a former actress, Jessica Mann. The prosecution rests its case 2 weeks ago after 12 days of witness testimony. Real quick, I just want to just make sure we're clear on this. We do know that the way that he was getting women was under the guise of he's going to help them with their careers. So just so we can be clear on this when we're discussing, you know, he got off for predatory sexual assault charges, when that's what that would be. I'm just saying. Anyway, the prosecution rested their case 2 weeks ago after 12 days of witness testimony. In total, 6 women testified against Harvey Weinstein, including Haley and Mann. Tuesday marked the start of jury deliberations. As reported, Mann testified under oath that Weinstein began manipulating her as soon as he met her, allegedly forcing himself on her multiple times and raping her at a hotel in Manhattan. Weinstein's defense argued that he had consensual relationship with Mann, lasting for years after the alleged sexual assault. He maintained all sexual conduct was consensual. Basically the same argument. During closing arguments, basically the same argument was my narration, not the. It goes on to say, during closing arguments, Weinstein's lawyer, Donna Rituno, ripped into I think that's how you say her name. If it's not, my apologies, Donna, ripped into the prosecution, saying prosecutors created a universe that strips adult women of common sense, autonomy, and responsibility, arguing Weinstein's accusers acquiesced to sex because they thought it would have advanced their careers. Now, what was Bill Cosby's defense again? Anyone. Anyway, it goes on to say, however, prosecutor Joan, okay, the prosecutor Joan, okay, we're just gonna say Joan, shout out to you. No disrespect intended, but I'm just gonna mess up. I'm just gonna tear that name in pieces. However, prosecutor Joan countered in her closing argument, saying Weinstein's accusers was merely ants that he could scuffle without consequences. The graced Hollywood mogul felt he couldn't get a fair trial in New York, claiming the jury pool was tainted, but the case proceeded. Now, I want to know what y'all guys think about the fact that he was found guilty on 2 charges, that he can get up to 25 years for. I mean, not a piece.
God damn.
He can get up to 25 for. So, just so we can be clear on it. So, he's going to be doing some time. We don't know what he's going to get. But the point is, they basically used the exact same defense that Bill Cosby used after it failed. So we'll see what goes on with that. I just wanted to report on this because at the end of the day, like, they are killing certain individuals in the media, and I don't think that this is spoken about enough, and not enough on this channel either. So, you know, I gotta be held a little bit responsible for that also. So anyway, let me know what y'all guys think. Put it down in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification game. #Let's